Eddie Jones urges World Rugby to act as lineout contest debate erupts after Six Nations opener Eddie Jones believes World Rugby has reached a defining moment in its stewardship of the game, as concerns grow that a fundamental element of rugby union, the lineout contest, is being eroded by recent law interpretations and tactical exploitation. The debate was reignited following France's Six Nations opener against Ireland at the Stade de France, a match that prompted former Wallabies head coach Ewen McKenzie to raise alarm over what he described as a lack of meaningful contest at the lineout. Jones, now head coach of Japan, echoed those concerns and called on World Rugby to show decisive leadership by acting quickly rather than allowing ambiguity to persist. The heart of the issue is a combination of law trials, referee interpretation, and teams increasingly pushing the boundaries in their quest to speed up the game, a trend that has been creeping in. McKenzie's concerns centered on France's repeated use of short, rapid lineouts against Ireland, where players appear to move, jump, and complete the lift before the hooker had even fully settled at the mark. According to McKenzie, these actions left Ireland with little to no chance of organizing a defensive contest in the air, effectively turning the lineout into a restart rather than a genuine battle for possession. There were times when the lineout was already in motion and the French hooker wasn't even in position, McKenzie said while analyzing the match. So I don't know if that was tactical or excitement, but it happened a couple of times, and I thought, is something going on here? It doesn't give the hooker any time to stand there and get nervous. He just gets there and literally tosses the ball in. The whole lineout thing for me is different now. While France executed their approach with impressive efficiency, the concern is not about one team exploiting the laws intelligently, but about whether the laws themselves are now undermining one of rugby's traditional contests. The law trial, changing the game. World Rugby's desire to increase ball-in play time has led to a number of recent innovations, including shot clocks for set pieces and kicks at goal. As part of a wider package of global law trials approved by the World Rugby Council in November 2024, a significant adjustment was made to the policing of crooked throws at the lineout. Under the trial law, a throw that is not straight is no longer automatically penalized, provided the defending team does not lift a jumper to compete in the air. The law now reads, 18.23 The ball must be thrown in straight along the mark of touch toward a line-out player. Sanction, if the non-throwing team does not lift a teammate to compete for the ball, then play shall continue. If the non-throwing team lift a teammate to compete for the ball, then they shall be offered the option of a line-out or scrum. If the line-out is chosen and the ball is again not thrown straight, a scrum is awarded to the team that originally threw in the ball. While designed to encourage quicker restarts and discourage negative tactics, critics argue that the trial has unintentionally incentivized attacking teams to remove the contest altogether. Former IRFU referee manager Owen Doyle has already taken aim at the trial, warning that it creates confusion and inconsistency. McKenzie now believes the France v. Ireland match demonstrated how the law can be stretched to breaking point. There's no contest in the lineout anymore for McKenzie. The central issue is not simply crooked throws, but the very definition of what constitutes a contest. There's no contest in the lineout now, he said. The teams just run in and jump. I don't know about the crooked throws or how it's being applied. Does the contest have to be at the point the ball is won? Or is this a contest in general? If you lift in defense and the ball's thrown crooked, is that a problem? Or do you have to lift exactly where the ball is being won for the referee to intervene? There seems to be no real contest in the lineout anymore. That's possibly a problem for the game in the future. These questions go to the core of referee interpretation. If defenders lift but are positioned slightly away from where the ball is thrown, is that a genuine contest? And if attackers deliberately throw short to avoid that contest, should referees intervene? At present, there are no clear answers, and that uncertainty is exactly what worries coaches Eddie Jones. I don't think anyone is sure. Eddie Jones admitted he himself is unclear on the precise application of the law, a telling statement from one of the most experienced coaches in World Rugby. I am not sure, mate, Jones said when asked about the line-out trial. I don't think anyone is, but France clearly had a tactic to get the ball in as quickly as possible. The simplicity of their line-out stood out. They won the ball and quickly shifted it from that point. Jones acknowledged that technically referees are instructed to only penalize a crooked throw if there is a genuine contest for the ball, but what constitutes a genuine contest is left largely to interpretation. I think generally the law is that there's got to be a genuine contest for the ball for the referee to call it not straight, he said, and a genuine contest is on the interpretation of the referee. Has it got to be where the ball is won? Common sense says it would be. McKenzie agreed, but reiterated that the speed and movement of modern lineouts make that contest increasingly impossible to establish tactical evolution or law exploitation. France's approach highlighted how the modern lineout is evolving, or perhaps devolving. Under the current framework, the BY running their forwards and late, keeping the lineout short, and throwing immediately. France prevented Ireland from matching numbers or organizing an effective defensive lift. That, in turn, removed any pressure on the thrower to be straight. Early in the game, both teams were literally just running in and jumping. McKenzie explained, it's impossible to set any sort of meaningful defense on a shorter line at that point. Good on France. They were playing their forwards wider, much wider. If there's no contest in the lineout, your second rowers don't have to be traditional jumpers anymore. France have a couple of really good ball-carrying second rowers, and then Ordu came on. The implication is significant. If lineouts no longer require elite jumping skills, team selection and forward balance could fundamentally change. A call for swift leadership. Jones believes World Rugby cannot afford to let the issue drift through the remainder of the Six Nations. Instead, he argues that swift action, even mid-tournament, would send a strong message. On Ewen's point on the lineout, I think there'll be a crackdown, Jones said. You're supposed to come in set, and you've got to allow the opposition the opportunity to match up numbers. That's something that's crept into the game and been allowed over a period of time. According to Jones, this is exactly the type of scenario where World Rugby can demonstrate leadership rather than simply reacting months later. If they're proactive, they'll have a meeting on the weekend and say, right, that's the end of that. Send out an edict on Monday, he said, and that should stop. It's a great opportunity for World Rugby to show some leadership. Protecting the contest of possession for McKenzie, the stakes extend beyond one match or one law trial. He fears that if the lineout ceases to be a genuine contest, rugby risks losing part of its identity. I don't think you could say the lineout's a contest when watching that game, he said. It's not really a contest because there's no pressure if you don't have competition in the air and you don't have to throw the ball straight. Then it's really just a restart of play. He warned that without careful management, the lineout could become little more than a formal pause before open play resumes, stripping it of its strategic and physical significance. So the question is how much of a contest they want to make it, McKenzie said. It's one game and we'll see how it goes. But as a trend, teams have been moving in late and changing position quickly. I think it's an area they've got to manage to make sure the lineout remains a contest. Otherwise, it's just a restart. You might as well tap the ball and go. A defining moment for World Rugby as the Six Nations continues. Scrutiny on lineout officiating is only likely to increase. Coaches, analysts, and former referees are united in one view. Clarity is urgently needed. For Eddie Jones, the solution is simple. Act early, act decisively, and protect the contest. If rugby is built on anything, he and McKenzie argue, it is the fight for possession. Lose that, even in the name of speed, and the game risks losing part of its soul.